Hi. We're a very goal-oriented society, I think. So we tend to be very goal-oriented people. Sayings like, keep your eyes on the prize. And if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably never get there. And get her done. Those sayings reinforce the value we place on having and achieving goals. They're very important to us. Goals help us to organize our efforts and in a good way, coherent way, so that we aren't just running around like chickens with our heads cut off, as my farming parents used to say. It's hard to imagine not having goals to guide us, whether they're immediate goals like what to cook for dinner, or long-term goals like planning for retirement. But one of the pieces to life's puzzle that we have to figure out is how to balance focusing on our goals with living life in the present. Since we in our society place so much emphasis on goals and reaching those goals, they can easily become the only important thing to us. We see this at work in the business world, where if an employee does not reach the goal of a certain number of products sold or a certain number of items inspected, if they don't reach their goals that are set, then they're considered underperformers and they may be fired. Other considerations often are not taken into account. We see the priority of reaching a certain goal in the sports world too. The goal is to come in first in the competition, right? And if when someone comes in second, they're seen as a loser. As they say, nobody remembers who came in second. Another danger in making the goal the main or only thing for us is that we can easily justify any means necessary to reach the goal. It becomes that important. We can convince ourselves that the end justifies the means, which allows us to do terrible things to each other on the way to accomplishing the goal we're shooting for. This rationale has been used in every war ever fought, I think, including the present war in the Middle East. Or many, it seems, are okay with tens of thousands of people being killed in order to reach the perceived goal of security or peace or control or whatever. So how do we keep our goals from taking over and dictating how we work toward them? Well, I like to use the image of climbing a mountain in this regard. So, getting to the mountain's peak is the goal that we may have our eyes on, right? If that becomes the main or only goal for us, the process of getting there will be less important and may even become an unpleasant task. In this case, every boulder and every crevice we have to go around will be an irritating obstacle, blocking our way to reaching the goal. And the more time we have to spend climbing and not at the goal, reaching the goal, the more we feel it's tedious, it's unsatisfactory, and not good. We may even feel that being anywhere on the mountain except at the peak is bad, and that we are a failure till we get to the peak, till we accomplish our goal. And that's not very fun. However, if we consider the climbing itself as the goal also, then wherever we are on the mountain is okay for now. And as long as we are climbing, we are accomplishing that goal. In that case, each boulder and crevice can become interesting challenges to negotiate rather than obstacles preventing our advance. The truth is, on the mountain of life, we never reach the peak. We may accomplish some goals along the way, but there's always another step to take, another life challenge to take on. With the important things, there's no perfection to be reached, and there's no first place to be had. It's probably only with age that we come to realize that the climb, the living, is really the point. The only goal that is achievable is to do our best to live with as much love, compassion, and forgiveness that we can, wherever we are on life's mountain. We can be in that spot right now, and there's no other peak to get to. That tends to bring a deep satisfaction and peace of mind and heart. Seeing life this way also eliminates the stress that competition often brings. We're able to see everyone else in the same boat, climbing life's mountain at whatever skill level they are, even if they're choosing a different route. We're not in competition because we're all doing the same thing. Age may help us get to this place of more peaceful living, but we can practice some things to help it along. We can practice bringing our attention to whatever we're doing at any given moment, rather than focusing on the future or the past only. If I'm talking to someone or working on the computer, I can always ask myself, is this important? And am I doing this with as much skill and care and love that I can? If the answer is yes, then we'll probably feel pretty good about being there and doing that. And it's probably a good step in climbing life's mountain. Again, I can't imagine not having goals in life, but living takes place in the present, not in the future, not in some future goal. Choosing to live in the present in the best way possible is all we can do anyway. We can't do anything in the future. We can't do anything in the past. It's only doing things in the present. And not only is it the most satisfying and the least stressful way to live, it's also the best thing we can do to help the future turn out well.